Sleeves here with the Senior Pickleball Report powered by TNC Network. Let's get it going. Okay, folks, today we have an interview with one of the founders of the National Pickleball League, NPL, link in the description, Michael Chen, better known as The Hammer. He spent some time talking with us about how NPL came to be since he was part of the genesis of that organization, and look back at 2023 and what's coming in 2024 for NPL, which is pretty exciting. But first, check out the links in the description for paddles. Check out Bread and Butter, selling a lot of filths. The Filth is a very popular paddle. They got a new one coming out, or that is out, called the Loco, which I'll have a review shortly. Crown, great ball. Ball prices seem to be going through the roof, but Crown, great ball, reasonable prices. Link in the description. Also, Rain and Wind paddles. Gregory creates great paddles at affordable prices. Links in the description for those as well, and plus a whole bunch of others. Check out our newsletter. Get up the updates for your pickleball fix, and of course our merch page as well, and support the channel. All right, let's get to that interview with Michael Chen of NPL. All right, Michael Chen, one of the founders of the National Pickleball League, which had their inaugural season in 2023 and a huge season coming up in 2024. Welcome to the Senior Pickleball Report, Michael.
Thank you so much, Sleeves. I've been excited and waiting to do this for a long time.
Yeah, it's good to have you on. And obviously, we'll get to the NPL stuff because I don't think you could have even imagined what the inaugural season would have brought and what it did, and all the way through the highly climactic finals and all the shenanigans in between. And we'll get to that in a second. But I always start with people, because obviously we've all become somewhat obsessed with this game, and some of us play it and some of us play it and start leagues. So how did you find this game? How did it come into your life? Talk a little bit about your athletic background prior and then how pickleball came to be.
That's great. Well, I've always loved sports. I mean, I think my sister got all the brains of the family. I got the gift of gab and loving to play sports since I was a little kid. And my thing that I did in high school was I played baseball and wrestle. So baseball gave me the hand-eye coordination, because seeing a ball come at you, even back then, 70 miles an hour and try to hit it right on the spot.
Right.
Eye-hand coordination. And then the wrestling gave me the mental toughness, because you have nobody else out there. You're wrestling for back then up to 9 minutes, and there's nobody there to help you, and you just got to fight adversity. And so that's how but I loved it. I loved both parts of that. And I went to college. I didn't play any sports in college at the varsity level, but I played a lot of intramural sports, basketball, softball, tennis I picked up in college. Loved that. Played a lot of tennis in college, intramural and after college. Then I picked up a sport called platform tennis.
Yeah.
It's mainly played out Northeast and the Midwest and in the cold weather, because it's played outdoors. With fences. It's like a small tennis court, the exact same size of a pickleball court, but you play off of screens. And I loved it. And I played that for probably 25 years. Played it at a competitive level. I went to travel around the country playing in national tournaments and regional tournaments, and did pretty well. Now was ranked, believe it or not,
right on
top 100 of the best platform tennis players in the world at one point in time. But over time, it wears on your knees and ankles, and I still played it. But during COVID, they shut down all the platform tennis courts. They were mainly played in country clubs, and I couldn't do anything outdoors other than play golf. And there's only so much golf I want to play. I want to play a more active sport. And so one of my friends who I played platform tennis said, you should try pickleball, because it's like platform tennis, the same size surface, except there's no fences. And I played it once, twice, 3 times, and all of a sudden I was addicted. I was like, this is great, because I couldn't play platform tennis, and this is exactly what I had always loved doing: eye-hand coordination and strategy. Think about it, it's a lot of strategy.
Right.
I love strategy. That's my career in business has always been around strategy and sales, and how to connect with people, and how to find a way to build businesses. And by the way, the business that I created, called Chen and Associates, we focus on providing strategic advice to CEOs. Okay. And I love doing that. I've been doing that for the last 10, 12 years. And so this is a game that fit what I love to do. Think about strategy, use hand-eye coordination, and connect with other people on the pickleball court, because pickleball is a real social support, as you know.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
You can play with men, with women, with 75-year-olds I play with, and I play with 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's a great sport to connect with people. And that's how I got addicted to pickleball. And I've been playing pickleball since 2021. And now it's the only, I quit platform tennis.
Okay.
I quit playing softball. I play very little golf. So this is the one sport that I'm playing a lot of.
Yeah, that seems to be the common theme is once somebody gets hooked by pickleball, and it's the same with me, during COVID, got hooked. I had been a runner for most of my life, but my body just could not do both activities, be a distance runner and playing pickleball. And I'm like, well, I've been running 30 years. I think I've had enough, and I'm going to play pickleball and dedicate my time to that. So it seems to be pretty common. Now, it's one thing to go out there and play, Michael, and to be addicted. And starting in 2021, it's another thing, 2 years later, to have a full-blown league going, a league that is the first of its kind, and actually was very groundbreaking because you had combines also to kind of get other people involved that may not have been in the senior pro circuit tour. So talk about where this idea comes from, because obviously you're one of the founders of the league. Where does the idea come from? Like, you know what? I think I'm going to start a league for 50 plus.
You're right. Yeah, there's always a story to how that happens. Once I picked up pickleball in 2021, I played a couple matches with my wife at 3-5, and people were complaining about the fact that I wasn't 3-5, so I started playing 4-0.
Yeah.
I started winning 4-0 tournaments on a regular basis quickly, so I started playing 4-5, and that became a little bit more challenging, but I did well there. And then in 2022, I played in a 5-0 match in Punta Gorda. 2022, correct. I started winning 5-0 matches. And I decided that in 2022, like, if I can win 5-0 matches, I want to play some senior pro matches.
Right.
I started playing senior pro, I think it's St. Louis in the middle of 2022.
Okay.
And I met my co-founders, Rick and Beth Bellamy there. I knew were the number one players at that time in the whole circuit. And I was so excited to play them. I don't know how they lost, but I played them in the back draw. And me and my partners, the first time we played them, I think we lost 15-8 to them in the back draw. But I was so happy. I got 8 points against Beth. And I think they were surprised that I got 8 points against them, right? They never we liked each other. We started talking and we built a friendship, and I saw him a couple other tournaments, and I played against Rick again. I think he crushed me the next time, but he enjoyed my competitiveness and the fact that I'm a new senior pro person with some potential. He took a liking to me, and I appreciate that. And he invited me to a senior pro council meeting in Houston in October of 2022, where I think these are some of the top senior pros were getting disenchanted with the current tours. Were not really focused on senior pros. They were really focused at that time. Remember, MLP had started for a year. The focus was on the Ben Johns, the Ann Lee Waters, all these up and coming pro pickleball players. And senior pros got pushed to the side. Like, they weren't on center court in these major tournaments. They got pushed off. Their championship gold medal matches were like at 10 o'clock at night. Nobody's watching them, and they felt like they were being disenfranchised. And these are the people who probably created the game of pickleball. The senior
correct.
And now they're being pushed aside. And so they were talking about having a separate tour for just senior pros. And I'm listening. I have a background in business, right? And I'm like, I'm not sure that's the best idea. Like, there's so many tours are coming up. And in addition to the major PPA and APP tours, you had all these other regional tours coming up.
Right.
I thought that it was going to be overcrowded with tours, and that having just a senior pro tour where you have to make it or break on every single event you do, it's more complicated. That I thought the MLP model was much better, because they had been around for a year. They started selling teams at 100,000, and all of a sudden, within a year, it became in the millions, as you know. Right. And I actually, along with a consortium of my friends and some senior pros, tried to buy a team from MLP at $1 million, and
yeah,
when LeBron came in, we were out.
It was over. It was all over.
We couldn't compete with LeBron James
No.
or Kevin Durant or any of those
Right.
people. So we said, well, maybe the better way to do it, I told Rick and Beth, like, I like your idea about doing something separate for senior pros, but I think we shouldn't do a tour. We should do a league, because then you can create communities, and pickleball is about communities. And if you can build and sell teams in different cities, they can create their own pickleball community, and we can grow. And this team environment creates the team sport environment, right? We have teams playing against teams, creates additional community as well. And these 50-year-olds feel like they're playing for more than just themselves. They're playing for a team. And all of us want to belong to a bigger community.
Sleeves here, Senior Pickleball Report, powered by TNC Network. Just finishing up a practice session, the world's worst pickleball courts, and been playing with these bad boys for a while. Crown Pickleball, link in the description. Check these out. Great ball. I haven't cracked any yet. Of course, I'm an old man, but really cool ball. Coming pink and this color. They got outdoor, indoor, and I think they're going to be a major player in pickleballs, because people are starting to kind of gravitate towards this ball. I know the podcast King of the Court, they love them. I love them. People are talking about them. People are giving them away with their paddles because they know it's a reliable, solid ball. So check out Crown Pickleball, new player in town, and man, they came out with a bang. So love it. All right, folks. Hey, at the end of the day, let's pickle. Sleeves here with the Senior Pickleball Report, reminding you to check out our podcast, People of Pickleball. That's where I speak with all the people in pickleball, the industry, players, team owners, apparel creators, people that run organizations, people that create apps, you name it. We're talking to them on People of Pickleball. It's in the playlist of our YouTube channel. It's our podcast. Check it out. Lots of good information there. And lots of really cool folks doing amazing things. You can also catch our podcast on Spotify and Amazon. Check out the link in the description.
We have 4 kids. They used to be in our household.
Yeah.
Now we're empty nesters, and we're looking for a new community. Our community used to be our kids, our family, our family's friends, but they've all moved out.
Yeah.
Pickleball community is something special, and creating a league creates not only competitive juices for these top level players who used to be probably top players when they were younger too, but now they're not as competitive as the 20-year-olds. And this gives them another chance to relive and rejuvenate the competitive juices, right? At the 50 plus with people their age. It gives them hope to be, have more physical health, mental health, we talk about, and create a new community for all of us. So that's why we started this. And when I told Rick about this, I said, look, I can give you some advice about how to start the league, because that's strategic advice is what I do, like I said.
Right.
But after about 2 weeks, they kind of came back to me and said, Michael, instead of giving us strategic advice, will you be one of our partners and do that?
How cool.
Well, first I'm like, yeah, no big deal. But I had never started a business from scratch before, Sleeves.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's a big deal to start a
I'm sure.
a lot of work, and I still am have my current business. If I cut it back a little bit to about 50%,
yeah,
still a lot of work, because I'm working as hard as I was before I cut my other business back to 50%. I'm back to 150%, and it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work to build a pickleball business, especially a pickleball league from scratch. But we've done it, and that's how we got started in December of 2022.
Yeah, and congratulations, by the way, because as you said, there are so many moving parts in this, and personalities and people, and obviously ownership and teams, and then all the intangibles that you never have thought of maybe that come along. Obviously, you've hit on a couple key things, and the biggest one being community. I remember before NPL, just watching on social media, you would see, because I follow a lot of senior pickleball, because obviously it's Senior Pickleball Report. So you would see these people compete super, really hard matches. And then afterwards, you'd see, some of their posts about they're hanging out afterwards and they're doing things together and they're going to dinner, and sometimes they'd be on vacation together. And so what I think NPL has done is really just expanded that community of people into a larger, obviously, group. You had 6 teams last year. looking probably to expand into 2024. But let's talk about 2023 and some of the highlights for you. I went to 2 events, one in Kansas City and then the finals in Glendale. And I was blown away by both events. Just the camaraderie. And the biggest thing, highly organized. Played enough tournaments in my life of pickleball, just starting to get into that, but other tournaments. And, it seems to be hit and miss, whether, you're sitting around for 8 hours waiting for your next match and blah, blah, blah. But talk about some of the highlights of 2023, because I thought it was, at least from somebody on the outside, very smooth.
Yeah, no, well, thank you so much. First of all, I want to say that our National Pickleball League, which we shorten and call it NPL, right? And our website is nplpickleball.com. And I want to say that because there's a lot of different leagues coming up.
And the link will be in the description of this interview as well, folks. So go check it out.
But for our nplpickleball.com and our professional pro league, we wanted to create exactly what you said, a professional level playing, so that we live stream every single match, so that these senior pros who don't get the visibility in the tournaments get the visibility. We create this league. It's not about paying these senior pros a lot of money. We do pay some of the top senior pros some money to cover their expenses, but it's really about recognition. It's about promoting senior pros. And it's about giving them a community. So when you go to that event at Kansas City and Glendale and all 6 events we had, it was really about creating an environment where senior pros were being loved every step of the way. And the way we is one, like I said, we live stream every single match. Whether you're on center court or you're on a different court, your match is being live streamed. The second thing that's unique to us is we play all our matches indoors.
Yes.
One of the biggest things that people worry about is they spend a lot of money to travel these tournaments. And then all of a sudden, if it rains, there are rain delays. They start at 8 o'clock and they might not play until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And they may play 2 matches over a 12-hour period and sit around for the other 10 hours. It's not a lot of fun. I've done that. Or worst case scenario, sometimes their day gets canceled and there's no refunds.
Right.
And there's no social activity, because when you just go play in a tournament, you're playing only for you and your partner. And nobody else is focused on you and your partner unless you have some family watch you, right? But you're not really socializing with the other players because they're focused on their matches, right? So the best thing what you saw is, whether or not you win or lose when you play in the National Pickleball League, you're then rooting on your team in the team matches. And you know that your day's not over, because you know that no matter whether you win or lose, you're playing 2 matches in the morning, 2 matches in the afternoon on Saturday, and you do it again on Sunday. Right. So life is like, you can have a bad morning, you're not 2 and out. In a tournament, if you lose 2, you're out in the morning. It's happened to me. I've lost 2 in the morning on a Saturday in a beautiful town like Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Everybody else is playing. I've lost. And you know what? You go around, if you hang out, people say, how do you do? And you always say, I went 2 and out. You feel like a total.
We call that in volleyball, we call that 1-2 barbecue.
Yeah. So I got tired watching these other players play, and everyone asked me, like, how do you do? Loser, right? I go home, and I don't go home because I'm in Atlanta. I go to my hotel room and I'm watching college football all afternoon.
Right.
I just spent all this money to travel here to play 2 quick matches and then sit in my hotel room. That doesn't work. In the National Pickleball League, if I lose 2 matches in the morning, I know I'm playing 2 in the afternoon, but I'm also rooting on my team, because at the end of the day, it's the team that matters. It's not how you did. You're part of the team. And then we go out to dinner together. We socialize. I built more friendships through the National Pickleball League in the last 6 months than I did in the first 2.5 years of playing pickleball. So you build a lot of friends, and when you pack up for the weekend, you're going to be playing because it's indoors. And then you get there 2 days ahead of time to practice with your teammates. So you're playing probably 3-4 days of pickleball during those weekends, and you're socializing. It's almost like a paid vacation. And that's between the National Pickleball League and some of these other tournaments. And that's why it was so successful in 2023.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, you've hit on the head of a bunch of things. And the indoor, playing at Chicken and Pickles, great venues, high service. And I think the biggest thing you really hit on, which I've talked about with a lot of your players over the last 6 months, is being treated as professionals, and being treated well and being recognized. And you great. People aren't making a living off this, because this is obviously, you've made your livings. You've had successes in your life, and you've done professional things, and you've done athletic things that have been high level throughout your life. And this is sort of bonus, but at the same time, you're right. It does take time and it does take money to do these things. And ultimately, when you do that and you give up your time and your money, you want to be treated well. And I can't imagine another entity that has treated players better than the National Pickleball League in 2023. Every single person I talked to, whether I interviewed them or just talked to them socially at an event, was so grateful for, what y'all had done and what you'd started. So obviously 2024, big season. New things coming along. I know you have a CEO now, commissioner. You have obviously partnerships that have come along, and you're looking to possibly expand the league. So talk a little bit about what your hopes are and what you see coming down the pike in 2024 for NPL.
Yeah, great. Well, there's just 2 points on 2023 I want to wrap up with. First of all, you mentioned Pickle. They were our partners. They believed in us day one, and we're very grateful for them because they gave us an incredible venue to have an incredible experience for all our players, and we will always be grateful and thankful for them. Second thing is, you just made my day by saying that all the players you talked to couldn't have had a better experience than an NPL, because that was our goal. Our goal first year is to treat senior pros with the kind of respect that they deserve. They've worked hard all their lives. They've played hard, and they were kind of set aside, remember, for the younger pros. And our goal, if we didn't achieve anything else in 2023, our goal was to treat our senior pros with love, with respect, and create a community. And if we've done that, then we've worked in 2023. Yeah. I think we have done that. So that achieved our goals, and I'm very happy about that. In 2024, because of what we were able to accomplish in 2023, I think some top senior pros stayed away, a few of them, because they were skeptical about whether we were going to make it, whether we'd be successful, and what the experience is. Now that they know, what's so exciting is we got almost all the top senior pros to sign up and play in the Senior Pro League in 2024. In addition, I think we have a waiting list now for our combines that we're going to have in March. It's sold out, basically. And the combine, it's like a tryout. It's a fun thing. We're not asking them to jump, and as high as they can, or do the 40.
Run 40.
It's not like NFL combine, but it's a combine of playing with different players, and it's a great experience and seeing how they do. It's not about how well they do just on the court, but how well they play with their partners, how well they are engaging. Are they exciting? Are they entertaining? It's the whole package of fit into this kind of brand that we're trying to create a community. So in 2024, we're excited about the fact that we have all the top players, and we have rank and file players wanting to try out and make the team. Because we want both. We want the top players, but we want the next group of players that are at the pro level that can get better and play with us as well. And we're expanding from 6 teams, which we had in 2023. We were thinking about expanding to 10 teams, but that's the other thing. We've got the beauty. We've got a lot more communities that wanted to be an expansion team in 2024 that we're probably going to end up with 12 teams, that we have more demand for teams than we have supply. And we want to cap it at 12 sleeves, because we don't want to grow too fast. I think the thing is, when you grow too fast and you have too many teams, then you don't manage as well. So the 12 is the maximum number of teams we'll have this year. And we didn't auction off these teams, just so you know. We set a fair price for these teams, and we want to choose team owners that love pickleball, that love to grow the community, and have the vision of, this is not just for a quick turnaround investment. This is an investment for the long term, to build the game of pickleball and build the senior pro. We call them champion pros, right? Because senior pros is a perception. It's 60 or 65 plus. It's 50 plus league. So it's really, we call them champion pros, and grow the champion pro demographic with us. And so we're excited that we haven't announced these other 6 teams yet, but you'll be pleased to know, Sleeves, they're all across the country. So our 12 teams will have representation in the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest, the South. And as you know, we already have 2 teams in Florida. So we're really excited. We're going to announce it shortly, but we're excited that we're going to have 12 teams to start 2024. And the other thing is, we're going to play these events in new cities too. because Pickle only has a certain number of indoor courts. So in order to fit 12 teams, we're looking for some facilities outside of Chicken and Pickle because they need to have 10, 12 indoor courts.
Right.
And so as incredible as Chicken and Pickle have been, we can't have all the events at Chicken and Pickle. We're going to have a combine at Chicken and Pickle we're excited about March 17th, but we're going to expand to other cities and other facilities that can house, 12 or more teams for us to play a weekend at. So that's going to be exciting.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, Chicken and Pickle knocked it out of the park in season 1, and super grateful for what they've absolutely done.
100%.
And going to 12 teams, pretty cool. And to expand, all throughout the country, because there's, as you know, there's great players all over the place. Right. And there's potential for it, obviously, have great ownership. And I like what you said earlier about, it's not just about at combines, about being a great player, because ultimately these people have to fit into a community, not only the larger league, but their team as well, and with their teammates. And character is a big deal. And I noticed from the people I spoke to, again, formally and informally, high levels of character of your players and people who were not actually players, people doing other things other than playing, all the heavy lifting, so to speak, to keep this event going. People that, were doing announcing or filming or handing out meal tickets or whatever their job was. Everybody was on point and everybody was super excited to be there. And again, the overriding umbrella that I kind of got from it is people were super grateful. So pretty exciting stuff in 2024. Obviously, you hired a CEO. You want to talk a little bit about Paul?
Yeah, sure. Paul Bamundo. Well, as you know, over the course of last year, it was me, Rick, and Beth kind of managing.
Running around
doing everything. And we were players too, as you know.
And playing, right. Yeah, no joke.
And I all played in the league, and it was just too much. It was just too much to try to run the league, play in the league. And we also have other, work outside of the NPL. Yeah. So shortly after, like halfway through the season, I realized that we needed to hire a CEO. And from the business point of view, that I couldn't manage most of the business aspects that I was managing. And I needed to have a CEO to take over a lot of the burden that I was working on, but also some of the stuff that Rick and Beth were working on as well.
Right.
Having Paul Bamundo come in and work full-time, this will give the three of us a chance to focus more of our time on playing pickleball and on the strategy and vision for National Pickleball League versus the day-to-day operation. Now, the one thing is, to be successful, in order to have a successful business, you got to have a successful revenue model, that matches your cost over the long term. Doesn't have to be day one, but you got to have a strategy gets there. And the main areas of revenue for a pickleball league would be, I would say, first of all, sponsors, right? Mm-hmm. Second thing, an area and opportunity would be merchandise. Third area would be to be licensing our brand and our trademarks. Fourth area would be ticketing at events. But probably the major focus would be on media, a media deal. We don't need to have a media deal now, but you made it as a substantial professional league is when you have a media contract. Yeah. What Paul does, he comes in the world of sponsorships. He worked at IMG. He worked at doing marketing for the Ivy Leagues. He worked at the National NBA as well. He worked at Subway doing sponsorships, on the other side. So he knows the sponsorship on selling sponsorship and buying sponsorship. And he comes from a really great background and references where he can be dedicated full-time. How do we grow our revenue model? Yeah. Of course, there's other stuff besides growing, but that's the primary reason. His expertise is growing the revenue model, building relationship, building partnerships. Because if we can grow the revenue side and we can manage our cost side, which I think we've done a very good job of managing the cost side, I think we'll have something sustainable. Because our goal over time is to have about 30 to 32 teams in this league. We're not going to have it in 2 years or 3 years, right? We're going to grow slowly. But in that 5 year to 7 year window, when we're going to expand the number of teams to all across the country, we need to have someone that can build a revenue model. And Paul has the perfect background. I've worked with him for 2 months. He's always got the perfect temperament because it's not easy. Run a league, all the demands, right? You have the demands from the players, you have demands from the existing team owners, and then you got to talk to the new team owners. You got demands from the people that work at the National Pickleball League. You have the demands from the partners, the suppliers. Yeah. He's done a big job in 2 months. I haven't given him everything yet because I don't want to overwhelm him after 2. But, he's taken on a lot of the responsibility. We've handled a lot of the responsibility of running the machine day to day. and he's done a great job. So I'm excited to see what Paul can bring for us in 2024, and then take a step back where me, Rick, and Beth will be on the board of directors, the board of managers of the National Pickleball League, and help from much more of a visionary and strategic point of view.
Yeah. Sounds like an excellent move. Obviously, I was impressed with the three of you because, wearing all those hats and then trying, once you step on the court, to let that go and then to play ball. And I watched all of you play extensively, and the level that you play at, and to I guess compartmentalize those things and then go out there and compete was pretty impressive. And it's no joke because obviously, like you mentioned way earlier, we you show up, you're playing practice rounds, then you're playing your tournament stuff, and you have to be fit. And you have to be somewhat lucky because you get to be our age, and little things happen here and there. And obviously, we know what happened with Beth. But super, super impressed with what y'all did, both wearing all the hats and playing professional pickleball.
I got to give a shout out to my team because when we play during the events, right? You're right. We're busy playing. We're rooting on our team. We really can't manage the events really well. Right. So we had a team. It wasn't us. We had Stu Upson, who used to be the CEO of USA Pickleball.
USA Pickleball, right? Yeah.
Hired to be our commissioner. So he was the kind of commissioner for each of those 6 weekend events to make sure that everything's going well. We had Mike and Michelle, which are our head refs, a bunch of great refs. We had Charlie, who was running our operations. We had Julie Weston, who was running the whole event day to day.
Amazing.
Everything. She did an incredible job. Danae, who was our social media person, Danae Huff. And then we had also Scott, who was running the live stream. We had play-by-play Ari, who was doing the play-by-play.
Ari, amazing, yeah.
We had a team, and we had all these volunteers too, like I said, to help us out. Some of the player volunteers, Dave Alexander was on the color commentary when he was hurt.
Did a great job.
Individual cities doing volunteering, keeping the scores. So really, it took a lot of burden off of Rick, Beth, and me during the event days by not having to worry about that, having a great team. And what we're doing this year is we're going to expand the team and hire more people. And Julie is going to be a player this year. So
I see that.
Yeah, no. So she's not going to be heading up events because she wants to play. She saw the excitement. She was hurt last year, so she couldn't play. But now she wants to play this year. So we hired this other guy, Sam, that's going to be running events this year.
Right on.
To bring a lot of our people back from last year. So we're excited. We're going to be able to expand and grow not in number of teams, but grow our infrastructure and hopefully grow our reach and have more people, more eyeballs on the National Pickleball League in 2024.
Excellent, Michael. Well, I appreciate your time and energy and obviously all the legwork you've done. It's putting this league together because I've never seen anything like it. And I am super proud to just be associated with it on any level and help out. I've enjoyed talking to the ownership, the players, and obviously yourself as well. So any last thoughts before we get out of here? Anything you want to mention about the National Pickleball League, NPL? And again, the links are in the description if you want to go check it out and find out a little bit about the combine, and you go watch that as well.
Yeah, I'll just say one thing. One of our investors in the league has a foundation called Finishing Well. And that's made an impact on me in the sense that what he wants to do is, and what we all should want to do is finish well our lives. We're in our later stages of our lives. Hopefully there's many more years, but, in the later stages. And I think about his foundation finishing well every day because I want to finish well. And we want this league to be about finishing well. And his investment is called Pickling Well, and we want to pickle well, meaning it's not all about winning and losing. It's about changing people's lives. We really want to create a National Pickleball League to change people's lives. It's not only the players that get to play in the league, because it does create a special community for the 60 players that we're going to have in the league approximately, and creating community and hope and rejuvenate the competitive spirits in a fun way. But we want to give hope to more than just these 160 players. We want to give hope to a lot of senior players who are saying champion pros or champion players over the age of 50 who say, maybe if I train, I could someday play in the National Pickleball League and create these communities, right? Where you're playing your community, your tryout, let's say in Boca, to maybe make the Boca team someday, Boca's creating this little mini combine in Boca for the players to try for it, and other communities can do the same thing. So really giving hope through pickleball to have people have physical health, mental health, creating community, even if they don't make it. The fact that we give them hope that maybe they can make it, maybe they can be a 4 or 5 plus player and play in this league someday, and doing it in a way where, going back to what you said, creating a kind of a community where people are doing it the right way, the right character, the right, and giving back to each other, helping other players get better, and the 160 players that we're going to have in 2024 to be ambassadors to their local community, wherever they are, because they're from all over the country,
right?
Back to the local community. And we did a charitable deal called Playing for Pink in our champion, which is to support breast cancer research, because a few of our players went through that. We want to give back, and that's the other goal is, as we expand, we don't want to forget that this is not really just about winning, losing. It's about doing good for our community, our local community, and making a difference for people over the age of 50.
Absolutely. And it's refreshing, all the drama that's surrounding professional pickleball at the open level. It's refreshing to see a league and a group of individuals doing things at a very high level with a very great deal of integrity and character. And I think you're a great model for other leagues and younger players too, that, they can lean on the experience that you all have, because you have professional experience and you have life experience. And now you have, creating an entity that's, hitting it out of the park right away. So congratulations, Michael. Thank you for your time. And again, links in the description. Go to an NPL event. They'll be all over the country. Look for the schedule to be released soon and the new teams. And we'll see you out there. Thanks again, Michael.
Thanks so much, Sleeves. I really enjoyed being on your show.
Hope you enjoyed our interview with Michael. Links in the description, all NPL stuff down there you need to find. And again, all the discounts you need as well. And at the end of the day, hey, let's pickle.